Morning, everyone. Thanks for coming out. It's a fabulous day here in Hamilton, and I'd like to introduce the people to my right and my left, Minister Sarkaria, Minister Oosterhoff, MPP Cirillo, MPP Scully, and of course Michael Lindsay, the interim president and CEO of Metrolinx. It is a great day here in Hamilton, and thanks to the leadership of Premier Ford and Minister Sarkaria, our government continues to make major transit investments to get people to where they need to go faster. And I could carry on and steal some thunder, but I think it's important that the guy who's done all the work steps up right next to me here. Minister, on to you.
Thanks, Neil.
Thanks.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's great to be here in Hamilton again, making a really exciting announcement alongside Minister Lumsden, MPP Skelly. Also want to really welcome Monica, who our newly elected MPP here in Hamilton, who I know is going to be a fantastic voice for the residents and already delivering big news for the city. And of course, great to be here with my good friend Minister Oosterhoff as well, the MPP for Niagara West, who has been a strong voice pushing for the last 7 years on making transit more accessible here in the region, and also to make today possible. But today also wouldn't be possible without Michael Lindsay, the CEO of Metrolinx. He's done incredible work over the last 3 months, and specifically, just a couple months ago, one of his first announcements here together with myself was on the Grimsby GO station. So we have a huge commitment to this region and to this area, and we're really excited to be here, and the team at Metrolinx has done incredible work moving that forward. Under the leadership of Premier Ford, our government is investing more than $70 billion to build public transit that will better connect communities across the province, while supporting thousands of good-paying jobs, construction jobs, as we protect Ontario workers during President Trump's unjustified trade war. Today, it is my pleasure to mark a major milestone for those who ride GO Transit's Lakeshore West line. We have officially connected the West Harbour GO station to the main rail line. This means commuters in St. Catharines and Niagara Falls will soon save up to 15 minutes per trip. In addition, all trains traveling to and from Niagara Falls, including weekend and off-peak trips, will soon stop at the West Harbour GO station. That's 4 times as many trips to significantly improve convenience and travel options between the Niagara region and Hamilton. That's 32 additional weekly trips. This means better service for anyone who relies on West Harbour GO and faster service to and from Niagara Falls, and one of Canada's most popular tourist destinations. Improved service along the Lakeshore West line builds on other recent GO service improvements. Last year, we added more than 300 weekly train trips to GO Transit's busiest routes, our largest service expansion in more than a decade. And just last weekend, we extended GO bus service to the Six Nations of the Grand River and Mississaugas of the Credit First Nations, marking the first time Ontario has provided direct GO Transit service to a First Nation. Finally, as of March, veterans and members of the Canadian Armed Forces can now ride GO Transit for free. These investments will not only build the transit services we need to support our growing population, they create tens of thousands of jobs during construction. Our priority transit projects in the GTHA alone will support more than 16,000 jobs a year. These are good, meaningful jobs in construction where you can earn more than 6 figures, buy a home, and start a family. Now, more than ever, we need to stand up for Ontario's workers. Investing in transit will help us do just that, while continuing to build for the future, so we can ensure Ontario remains the best place to live, work, and raise a family. With that, I'm excited to turn it over to my colleague, Minister Oosterhoff.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you so much, Minister Sarkaria, and what an amazing day it is to be here in beautiful Hamilton at the West Harbour GO Station. I want to acknowledge my incredible colleagues from the Hamilton region who have been advocating for this city for years and have been delivering, and today is another example of delivering for Hamilton. I also want to acknowledge the leadership of Minister Sarkaria, having him down in Grimsby just down the road a couple of months ago to share an update on the land procurement for the Grimsby GO Station, and then today as well demonstrates his commitment to this part of the province, and I want to thank him for that leadership. And Michael Lindsay, you've been someone who I've had the privilege of now working with on so many infrastructure projects across the province, but now here to be able to celebrate and see your leadership on the Metrolinx file on GO train services is really substantial and important. And I want to acknowledge you and your team, the workers who at the end of the day built this station and who have constructed also the connected line. This is great news. He has an amazing, hardworking team, and I want to acknowledge Michael as well. We're seeing local communities in Ontario grow at an unprecedented rate, and we see ridership levels across the province increase as well at record levels. And this is a government under the leadership of Premier Ford and Minister Sarkaria that is embarking on the largest transit expansion in Ontario's history. In fact, for every single dollar that has been spent on a new highway here in the province or a new road, there's $3 being spent on transit expansion, the largest transit expansions in North America happening under the leadership of Premier Ford and Minister Sarkaria. Part of this growing ridership includes people from my riding of Niagara West, but other commuters from Niagara on the Lakeshore West line. But it goes both ways. We see people who live in Hamilton and want to visit Niagara Falls, have family come down, or they have people who are visiting and want to see one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. Who can blame them? And so now we've seen an expansion and a continued service increase between both Union Station and Niagara Falls to connect more people to jobs and housing. But now with today's announcement, we're also seeing more connections between Hamilton and the rest of Niagara. And with this announcement today of completed upgrades at the West Harbour GO Station, the good news for commuters from Niagara is that they will save an average of 15 minutes every round trip to Union Station and beyond. And I actually think my understanding is it's even closer to 20 minutes. So it's really good news for additional service, and it's a demonstration of the government's commitment to moving forward with investments in infrastructure, but specifically also in transit. We see this as we move forward with the Confederation GO Station and the Grimsby GO Station. And I want to thank those who have worked so hard to make that a reality. Now, as our government makes record investments in transit across the province, we're providing commuters in Niagara with easier access to fast, reliable, and affordable public transit. It's welcome news for commuters in Niagara as more and more riders travel this corridor, either to get to work, visit wine country, or simply spend a weekend in Niagara Falls. And today's announcement, under the leadership of Premier Ford and Minister Sarkaria, is another step in our province-wide commitment to get you where you need to go better, faster, and easier. I now have the privilege of welcoming to the podium one of our newest team members from the beautiful Hamilton Niagara region, a champion and someone who has had so much to give to this city already, and I'm excited to see what she does over the next 4 years. MPP Cirillo, come to the podium and share some remarks.
Thank you. So thank you to Minister Sarkaria for making his way down to Hamilton, and welcome my local MPP and minister counterparts as well. It's a pleasure to be here for this exciting announcement at the West Harbour GO Station. The completion of the track connection is a major win for this entire region. This upgrade means faster, more reliable service, and as was mentioned, commuters are going to be saving 15 minutes during rush hour, and just as importantly, it paves the way for future expansion to the Confederation GO Station. What I heard at the doors when I was knocking in Hamilton Mountain, many of whom commute to Toronto or Niagara every day, is the need for more convenient transit options to commute back and forth to work. With every future Niagara and Toronto-bound train stopping at the West Harbour GO, no longer will residents have to choose between driving to the Aldershot GO Station or not using transit at all. This announcement today means less time on the road, and it means more time with your family. It means you can get your kids to their Little League game on time for their first pitch. I'm proud to stand with our government under Premier Ford and Minister Sarkaria in supporting infrastructure that delivers real results for the people of Hamilton. I would now like to turn it over to MPP Donna Skelly. Thanks, Monica.
Thank you, Monica, and thank you, Minister. It's always wonderful welcome news when we have somebody come to town and say, we're bringing yet another opportunity to address congestion on our highways, and that is by having more GO service to and from Toronto and, of course, through Niagara. But it's also welcome news for many Ontarians who are looking south of the border and saying there's too much chaos. I am thinking about a staycation this summer. And what better way to explore one of the most beautiful parts of our country and certainly of Ontario than to take GO service right to Niagara and go to the falls, explore wine country, and actually enjoy what Ontario has to offer. So, Minister, thank you again for all of your hard work on this file. I know that we will see improved and increased ridership, not just to Toronto, but of course to Niagara. And thank all of you for coming out today to celebrate this announcement. And Minister, I'm sure the media has many questions for you. I'll hand it over to you.
We'll now go to questions. If reporters could line up at the microphone behind me, please identify yourself by name and outlet, and it will be one question, one follow-up.
Good morning, Joey Coleman. So an operational question. With this change in schedules, obviously the rush hour trains would save time. The all-day trains that don't stop here right now, they'll continue to have the same stops. And when does the schedule change occur?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So those trains will, now this will be an official stop. So when we talk about all those trains that come in from Niagara, previously we had the issue with how the trains had to back out and come into the station. So now this will be that additional stop. And as a result of that, we'll have 32 new trains from this station into downtown as well, and on the way back to Niagara as well. So a significant difference in service levels on that.
This station here, normally that building is not open for security reasons. What steps are being considered to improve the security and safety at this station so that it can be open once again for this expanded service?
Well, look, that is something that we take very seriously. The safety of not all of our passengers, but those who are on the premises. We work with local law enforcement. We work with local community groups on some of those challenges as well, and we will continue to do that. We want to make this a safe place, so we want to make sure that we can get as many people to these stations. And maybe to just expand upon some of the work that Metrolinx is doing on this in general, I will also ask Michael Lindsay to maybe speak to that a bit if you would like.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. I think the minister said it very well, and he also gives me an opportunity to actually thank the Metrolinx personnel who are here today, who work to make this station as safe and as friendly and as accessible as it can be. So thank you very much to them, including making time and space for all of us today to do a media event. Exactly right. As service ultimately ramps up at the station, we'll continue to talk to local partners about how to make sure that all of the facilities are as accessible as they can be and safe as they can be. To the first question that you asked, if you wouldn't mind me just adding just a brief note, it's worth noting that this work has been delivered ahead of schedule. It's a lovely thing to say in connection to transit and transportation work. So the new schedule of service is actually going to come in a few weeks' time because we actually surprised ourselves by how early we managed to deliver this through track. And so when that schedule is ultimately available in a few weeks' time, we're going to do what we always do, talking through local community engagement offices to residents about the future, and we appreciate it.
Hi, folks. Matthew Van Dongen from the Hamilton Spectator. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you.
I think I read in the release that this improvement will also help the eventual Stony Creek station when it opens. Can you give me an update on that project?
Would that be Confederation? Sorry. Yeah, sorry. No, absolutely. We've made great progress on that. We've done a lot of the major work on that. We're very confident that we can open that facility this year as well. And so all hands are deck. We've, as Michael said, been able to open this quicker than we thought. And so, the team at Metrolinx is working day in, day out to ensure that we get all of the stations, our $70 billion plan across the province on transit to not only be effectively opening as quick as possible, but using innovative ways on construction and to get people on these sites as quickly as possible. So we'll continue to work around the clock to ensure that happens, but we're very confident that we've done all the major works there and could have some great news in this year on that.
Okay, thank you. And I think one of the last times you were here in town was to announce the start of the RFQ process for our Hamilton LRT. And then after that, of course, we've had a lot of news about tariffs and countermeasures and the difficulties that come with that. Is this trade war? Are these tariffs causing a problem for procurement processes like for the LRT?
Well, I think it also is an opportunity for us. And I look at our plans across the province with respect to large infrastructure projects as a way for us to combat the threat south of the border. We need to start these projects that much quicker. We need to get people working. We need to get people on the ground, whether it's the Hamilton LRT or other projects across the province. This motivates myself, the Premier, Michael and Art, and all of our MPPs that are here today and ministers to get these projects out the door that much quicker. And so we will use every tool possible to accelerate. We're going to have some more good news coming on announcements and further updates with respect to the Hamilton LRT in the coming near future. But I see this as an opportunity to not only support Canadian and Ontario construction workers and Canadian construction companies during this time, but also an opportunity for us to accelerate work and get these projects delivered that much quicker.
Facing high maintenance costs, the City of Hamilton has asked to upload its 2 parkways to the province last year. It hasn't heard back yet from the MTO. Will that be happening like it did in Toronto?
Well, look, we examine every request that comes in from municipalities across the province. We have a great relationship with the mayor here in Hamilton. We invest in highways close to $28 billion over the next 10 years to support that. And so as we continue to have those conversations around the province, our government will be engaged with the mayor's office to have discussions. Right now, we offer many funding streams and programs through our infrastructure projects, whether it be connecting links here in the province to support municipalities in some of their construction work, or that being said, road work that they do. And so we'll examine all options and work with the city through that as well.
And switching cities here. A report by city staff in Vaughan suggests that work is being suspended on the Queen Street and Highway 7 bus rapid transit planning process due to a lack of funding. Brampton Mayor Patrick Brown says the work continues and that is a top priority for Brampton. What is the status of the project?
No, Mayor Brown is absolutely correct. Our team at Metrolinx, myself, we remain committed to the BRT on Queen Street and Highway 7. Look, we're excited. If there's a government that has been building transit, has been committed to investing in transit, it's this government. $70 billion over the next 10 years are being put forward to support construction and to support public transit in this province. And so every corner of this province, whether it's the BRTs, the LRTs, construction across many of our subway projects and highways, we're committed to doing that, and we're going to ensure that we move forward on that as well. Okay. I think that's good, or we're good?
Yep, we're good. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.